You walk into Subway, the bread smell hits you, the toppings sparkle under the fluorescent lights, and the employee asks that classic question, foot long or 6-inch? You feel virtuous. You're not getting greasy fast food, you're getting something fresh. There's lettuce, tomato, turkey. It's practically a salad in a bun, right? But here's the question. Is your Subway sandwich really healthier than the one you could make at home? Because what if the Eat Fresh slogan is just really good marketing wrapped in paper? Let's find out right here on History of Food. Let's start with the base of every sandwich, the bread. Subway's bread smells amazing. That warm, sweet aroma is their secret weapon. But here's something wild. In 2020, Ireland's Supreme Court ruled that Subway's bread had too much sugar to legally be called bread. That's right. By Irish law, Subway's bread is basically cake. Each roll can contain up to 6 times more sugar than a regular slice of store-bought bread. It's soft, fluffy, and engineered to make you crave more. At home, you can choose real, whole-grain bread with fewer additives and less sugar. It won't have that signature Subway scent, but your pancreas will thank you later. So yeah, Subway might bake fresh daily, but that doesn't automatically mean healthy daily. Now, let's talk about the meat, because this is where things get interesting. Subway's menu proudly offers lean proteins: turkey, ham, chicken, and roast beef. But many of those meats are processed, not freshly sliced. They're packed with preservatives, salt, and phosphates to keep their color and texture picture perfect. Take their oven-roasted chicken, for example. Lab tests in 2017 found that Subway's chicken contained as little as 50% actual chicken DNA. The rest was fillers and soy protein. Compare that to making a sandwich at home. You can use real roasted chicken breast, seasoned with things you can actually pronounce. Homemade doesn't come vacuum sealed, but it does come without a chemistry set. Now, to Subway's credit, they give you vegetables. Lots of them. You can pile on cucumbers, spinach, peppers, and onions until your sandwich looks like a mini garden. But here's the catch. Most of those veggies are stored in bulk containers for hours, even days. They've already lost much of their nutritional punch. Lettuce, for example, loses half its vitamin C within 24 hours of being cut. Meanwhile, your homemade veggies, fresh from the fridge, washed and sliced on the spot, actually retain their nutrients. So while Subway gives you quantity, homemade wins in quality. And let's be honest, we all say we're going to load up on spinach, then end up choosing extra cheese and a double scoop of sauce instead. Ah, yes. The sauces. Subway's secret weapon. They're what transform a bland sandwich into a flavor bomb. But they're also where all the bad stuff hides. That creamy chipotle sauce, over 100 calories per serving. Ranch, full of fat and sodium. Even light mayo isn't as light as you'd think. Add a couple of those sauces to your sub and boom, you've got yourself a 1,000-calorie healthy meal. At home, you're in charge. You can swap heavy dressings for olive oil, mustard, Greek yogurt, or avocado. You get the flavor without the guilt, and without the post-lunch food coma. And here's something funny to think about. Have you ever noticed how every Subway sandwich somehow tastes the same, no matter what you order? You could build a tuna melt, a veggie delight, or a chicken teriyaki, and yet there's that unmistakable Subway flavor. That's not your imagination. It's the combination of the same bread base, sauces with similar sugar and salt profiles, and cross-contamination from shared prep surfaces. In short, your sub might be a little less personalized creation and a little more house flavor number 5. Homemade sandwiches, on the other hand, actually taste like you. Unique, imperfect, and gloriously unpredictable. So let's put it side by side. A standard 6-inch turkey Subway sandwich with cheese, sauce, and toppings clocks in around 500 to 700 calories. Double that if you go for a foot long. A homemade turkey sandwich on whole grain bread with lettuce, tomato, and mustard? Roughly 300 to 400 calories depending on your ingredients. And guess what? The homemade version usually has half the sodium and none of the preservatives. The difference doesn't seem massive at first glance, but if you eat Subway regularly, that calorie creep adds up. It's the difference between feeling satisfied and feeling like you need a nap at 2 p.m. Let's talk about money, because healthy shouldn't cost an arm and a loaf. A typical Subway meal, sandwich, drink, and maybe a cookie, because let's be honest, you always get the cookie, costs around $10, $12 these days. Meanwhile, with that same amount of money, you could buy ingredients for 3 homemade sandwiches. A loaf of bread, some deli meat, cheese, and veggies will last you several meals. And you can customize everything, from the bread thickness to the exact number of pickles, without paying extra. Homemade gives you control and value, plus your kitchen doesn't charge for extra avocado. Here's a weird one. Ever notice how every Subway restaurant smells the same no matter where you go? That's because it's not just the bread, it's a proprietary scent blend pumped into the air. It's literally designed to make you hungrier. This scent marketing is intentional. Studies show that specific smells trigger cravings, even when you're not that hungry. So next time you walk by a Subway and suddenly crave a sandwich, that's not your stomach, that's your brain being expertly manipulated by corporate aromatherapy. Now, homemade sandwiches may not come with the thrill of watching someone build them for you, but they have something better: control. You know what's going on. You can adjust the salt, sugar, and fat levels. You can pick real whole grains, fresh veggies, lean protein, and actually see where your food came from. And perhaps most importantly, your homemade sandwich doesn't come with a side of mystery ingredients or a whiff of marketing manipulation. Sure, it might take 5 minutes longer, but that's 5 minutes that could save you from preservatives, additives, and regret. Here's the twist. The biggest difference between Subway and homemade sandwiches isn't nutrition, it's perception. Subway feels healthier because it looks customizable and colorful. You watch it being made right in front of you, which gives you the illusion of control. But when you peel back the layers, literally, much of what's marketed as fresh is just pre-packaged, processed food dressed up as a salad bar. Homemade doesn't look as glamorous. There's no logo, no smell machine, no foot-long bragging rights, but it's real food, made by someone who actually cares about the ingredients, you. And that's the quiet truth that marketing can't replicate. So who wins the Subway versus homemade showdown? If we're talking convenience, Subway takes the crown. If you're rushing between meetings or stuck in an airport, it's a decent option. But if we're talking true health, nutrition, and long-term value, homemade wins by a landslide. Because at home, you're not eating slogans, you're eating food. The lesson here? You don't need to fear fast food. Just understand it. Be mindful, read the ingredients, and whenever you can, take the time to build something with your own hands. After all, no one's ever said, "Wow, this Subway sandwich tastes like self-care." But a homemade one, that's a different story. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.